Hello, and welcome to Inventors Helping Inventors. I'm your host, Alan Beckley, inventor of the Wonder Wallet. If you're an inventor searching for proven ways to make money with your invention, if you dream to see your product selling in stores everywhere, you've come to the right place. There's no better place to get help than from experts, inventors who've already achieved success. Every week, I interview successful inventors, asking them the questions you want to know. Tune in to learn from the experts so you can get your invention out of the tank and into the bank.
So we do understand that's going to be our biggest hurdle is the education side of it. When we're comparing it against like the Pet Libros of the world or other technologies that are out there that claim to be self-fulfilling, those products, you still need to add a 5-gallon jug or run a water line. And if that runs out with 5-gallon jug, you got to replace it.
What's the most difficult part of inventing? It's not the creative process of inventing a new product. It's not even navigating the patent process. The most difficult part is marketing your product so you can make money from it. If you're like most inventors, you love inventing and creating, but you hate marketing. Maybe you'd prefer to turn the marketing of your product over to an agency that claims to have helped hundreds of inventors. Unfortunately, that's expensive and always ends badly. Here's the good news. Marketing is a learnable skill, and I can teach you, empower you to market your own invention through a proven, effective process. Sound intriguing? If you're a serious inventor who's ready to learn how to license your invention to get it to market sooner rather than later, my product-to-market training could be right for you. Through 7 hours of one-on-one, in-depth training, I will show you how to create a clear, concise, compelling marketing message for your product. I'll show you how to use a new AI agent to find 30 or more companies in just minutes that could be great partners to license your product. Then we'll use another AI agent that looks at your top 10 companies and then finds names, titles, email addresses, and LinkedIn profiles of up to 100 contacts. Armed with all this, I'll work with you to design a step-by-step process for you to use to reach out to companies and contacts with your clear, compelling message. Then you're ready to begin contacting the companies yourself. I'm planning to work with no more than 2 inventors through the product-to-market training. If this sounds like something you'd like to explore, to finally get your product off the sidelines and into the market, let's talk and see if this program is a fit for you. Just email me at alan@alanbeckley.com and put in the subject line, Product to Market. I'll reach out to you and schedule a time for us to talk. Again, just email me at alan@alanbeckley.com, put Product to Market in the subject line. I look forward to talking to you. Welcome to episode number 618. Today, I interview, once again, Cody Soodeen. Cody Soodeen's background is in architecture. He studied architectural engineering at the University of Hartford. His early career was spent developing high-rises and mega projects, including Hudson Yards, Changi Airport T5, and many other major projects around the world. During his architectural career, he developed meaningful relationships with many of the top 10 architectural firms and built out the entirety of the first international branch in the UK before departing to go full-time at Carwater. As CEO of Carwater, his passion for water stems from dealing with bacteria-riddled drinking water from a young age. During his studies at university, he was inspired by the Namibian desert beetle that can turn air in the driest desert in the world into drinking water and then drink it off its own back. He realized that if this beetle could do this, then why couldn't we? He set out to develop a system that could replicate the beetle's natural phenomenon. This led to the creation of Car Pure, which now serves as a primary source of clean drinking water for thousands of people. His goal is to end our reliance on groundwater for drinking water needs and help so many people who experience similar or worse water issues as he did. You'll want to listen to this entire episode to learn how TerraWater has now entered the pet market with TerraPaw, a truly self-refilling pet water bowl that extracts water from ambient air. Also, how he is fundraising now with over 3,000 investors and has raised $3.5 million so far. With over 100 million U.S. pet owners, he feels that TerraPaw could be their biggest product yet. And finally, how TerraPaw is designed to optimize pet health with added minerals, including calcium and magnesium, that pets need. This will provide shinier coats and more energy for pets. Now let's get right to our interview with Cody Soodeen. Cody Soodeen, it's great to have you back on the podcast with us again today.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Cody, I most recently interviewed you back in June of 2025, which was just under a year ago in episode number 522. For our listeners, newer listeners, who may have missed that episode, you may wish to listen to it first and then come back to this episode. But in that episode, Cody, you had shared you were launching 2 new product variants of your original TerraPure, an air-to-water dispenser that extracts up to 10 liters of 9.2 pH alkaline mineral water daily from ambient air. You just launched 2 new products at that time, as I mentioned, TerraPure 2 and TerraPod, and you had launched the TerraPod with a successful Kickstarter campaign. Coming back to the present now, almost a year later, you've also been quite busy since I last spoke with you. Now you're launching a new product extension, this time into a different market segment, the pet market, the TerraPaw. Could you describe for our listeners how TerraPaw works compared to your prior 3 air-to-water dispensers? What's different about it besides obviously being for pets?
Yeah, that's it right there. You know that one. It's a pet product that turns air into drinking water. So it's a self-refilling pet bowl. So when you're out late at work or running late, getting home, or you just want to go to happy hour and the pet bowl's empty, you don't have to rush home anymore. There's an app that controls the product, and you'll be able to manually monitor the water level and refill it automatically or manually, however you like, so that the pet will, you'll never have to thirst the pet at home.
You often like to manually refill it like people often do, but you also can have it automatically refilled because it's going to continue to produce water from air anyways, right? So it will tend to refill on its own if you let it. Is that right?
Some people just want to set it and forget it. Some people with larger dogs, they may want to put on like a night mode so their pet's not drinking water late at night and have to take them out in the middle of the night. So we've thought about all these things, interviewed tons of pet parents. I met with some of the biggest retailers in the country already, and it's been super exciting. We generally think this is going to be our biggest product yet.
Wow, that's amazing. You had described it, I think, as you mentioned here as well, the TerraPaw is the world's first self-refilling pet bowl. And I'm going to play devil's advocate for a moment, but there are a variety of items selling on Amazon and elsewhere, including something called Rosari and others that describe themselves as self-refilling. How does TerraPod differ from products like those? And also, is it difficult for potential buyers to understand the differences between those kinds of products and the TerraPod? Could you share with us your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I'll just quickly say that everybody we've spoken to has said yes to the product. Either they want one for themselves, their daughter, their cousins, their grandma, whoever has a pet, once they understand what the technology does. So we do understand that's going to be our biggest hurdle, is the education side of it. When we're comparing it against like the Pet Libros of the world or other technologies that are out there that claim to be self-refilling, those products, you still need to add a 5-gallon jug or run a water line. And if that runs out with 5-gallon jug, you got to replace it. With the water line, you're giving them groundwater. And a lot of people these days give pets the same water they drink, bottled water. So you still have to manually refill it. So all of those have a manual refill, right? Or a hookup. And that costs some money and it's static. You can't move it. It's stuck in position. If you move houses, you got to replumb it, things like that. It's a little more cumbersome. Ours is truly self-refilling. You can plug it in anywhere and it uses our air to water technology to turn air into drinking water for your pets. And it'll do up to a gallon per day, which is suitable for an extra large dog. When it comes to differentiating the word self-refilling, I think that we're actually truly self-refilling versus however much water you can put in the device for those other ones, they will run out eventually.
So it's a great way to differentiate it because when I looked at one of them that was called Rosari, essentially it had maybe a gallon plastic jug attached to the top of it. It would refill it gradually as the bowl emptied. But obviously, if you would still have to go get that jug and replace it periodically as it drew down. And so it wasn't truly automatically self-refilling. And so I can see that. That makes a lot of sense. And especially like the idea that, again, somebody maybe doesn't want their dog to drink too much water at night and things like that. There's a way with the Carapaw that they can make adjustments so that they can manage that, it sounds like.
We're going to have tons of features on it. That's going to be our most exciting product. It's going to be the first product we have with an app, which we do see future plans to build that app out for our current products and more future products.
Yeah, that makes great sense. And just speaking just generally, I know that pet product market is huge and people spend almost as much on their pets as they do on their children is the last statistic I saw. But how big would you say the self-refilling bowl marketplace is? And I presume obviously this would have to be just for water because you can't exactly do it for food.
That's a great question. And these numbers are huge comparatively to our current products. With our first product, we completely understand that's a niche product. Care Pure is a high-end luxury alkaline mineral dispenser that turns air into 10 liters per day. That's very niche. It's done very well and we've sold out multiple times. However, not as many people can afford that. Carapaw is also quite niche. It's a higher end coffee machine that solves a inconvenience. Whereas the pet product Carapaw, we're pricing it at a price point that we've been looking to achieve for quite a long time. So it's very mass market appealing in the price. However, there are 100 million pet owners just in the US. I believe 70 million dog owners and 30 million cat owners. So the opportunity is huge. Everybody needs a water bowl, no matter what you do for a pet. Not everybody needs an air-to-water dispenser for human drinking. So we believe that with the price point and the market size just in the US alone, the opportunity is just much bigger than we've ever had with other products.
That's pretty amazing. 100 million pet owners just in the United States. And you were talking about 70 million dog owners and 30 million cat owners. And as we speak, my cat is sitting on my lap, and it's always good to do a podcast with him on my lap because that means he's not getting into trouble somewhere else. Just looking at where your product is from a launch perspective within the market, is the Carapaw product commercially available yet? And if not, when do you anticipate it will be available for purchase? And what is the approximate retail price point, would you say?
So Carapaw is not yet ready for retail. I'm actually sitting right next to two of the products that here right now are going to be available for the holiday season this year. It's going to be our fastest product to market. And it's going to be retailing there's going to be two versions. So before I tell the retail prices, two versions. One's going to be Carapaw, just Carapaw, which is going to be your standard water bowl. It can be filled manually or automatically, still controlled by the app. And it can control it without the app as well, just locally on the buttons on the device. And we'll have Carapaw Plus. Carapaw Plus will have a fountain feature that allows the water to automatically recirculate in the bowl, and it shoots it out like a fountain. And most pets, specifically cats, love that feature. So we built that in with the intention of understanding that pets like moving water. And Carapaw Plus will also have a hair filter. So with their circulation, you're able to remove the hair from the bowl, a lot of dog owners say that their bowl gets kind of slobbery from the spit of the dog. It'll be able to filter that out to keep the bowl more fresh all the time, which is really cool. So we'll have two price points for Carapaw. Just the standard version is going to be $199, and the Carapaw Plus is going to be $249. So this is a third of the price of Care Pod, and it's the cheapest product we've come out with. It's gonna be, I do believe it's also the cheapest air to water dispenser on the market once we get it out there.
That's another selling point from what we've talked about before is the quality of the water that gets dispensed in this fashion, right? I think he said from a pH perspective, et cetera, it's a really great balance of water. You don't have to have a filter or any of that with it, right?
So we add a filter in it for one specific reason. We add minerals back into the water for the pet. The reason we did that was that a lot of pet owners that have our larger product, Care Pure, they give the water to their pets. And a lot of the times, most pet parents let's talk about their pets, which is great. And we get some feedback from that. So we've had multiple pet owners who have Car Pure say that they exclusively give their pet Car Pure water. And they've had noticeable differences. They drink more water, their coat is shinier, they're more energetic. And we took that feedback and like, hey, what if we put filled minerals that are specifically designed for pets into the water? So we added really nice minerals such as calcium for bone health, magnesium, and other things that pets really need in the drinking water to promote better health of your pet. So that filter is not just to filter out anything that we need to filter out, but also to add back really nice minerals for your pets to consume.
I was asking as you were describing, what you've described is step by step taking, for lack of a better term, a baseline product, but then adding other things onto it that would be very desirable. For example, making it where it's got like the CarePaw Plus, where it has an ability to remove hair and other kinds of things from the water. And then you also said, let's put some minerals into the water that are actually good for pets, et cetera. So you looked at taking a product that was already good and making it even better and even more special from the way I perceive that to be. And the thing I was wondering is, did you do some consulting with veterinarians and things like this as you were developing it?
Yeah, we've spoken to people who are vets who own our product already, and they've given us really good feedback. And they're super excited about this because they work a lot. Vets, doctors, whomever else, everybody has a really tough day job most of the time. So having this kind of convenience, being able to suggest it to their client is going to be really important because a lot of pet owners will give pets tap water. And most people don't drink tap water themselves. So a lot of vets will be like, why are you giving them tap water if you don't even drink it? So being able to produce healthy mineral drinking water for your pet with minerals that are geared towards pet health, it's been a win-win and they love the idea of it.
Yeah, that makes so much sense to me. And I was going to ask you as we roll towards a close, are there any parting words you'd like to leave us with?
Yeah, so we are currently raising and we're closing on, I want to say June 18th, sorry, June 18th. So just a couple of weeks away. And it's going to be a great opportunity for our started investors to get in on this round before it closes because we're not sure when we're going to do another round or if we're going to do one at all. That round closes again, June 18th. So you could find us at startengine.com/carewater. And we've got over 2,000 investors in our campaign so far. We've raised over, I think, $3 million so far. In revenue, we've sold over $3 million of product, which has been really exciting. It's coming in at a great time when we're just before we launch what we believe is going to be our golden goose, which is CarePaw. It's a super exciting time to get into the company and become an investor.
What is that website once again? I got the /com/carewater, but what's that first part?
Start, like the start button, engine. Startengine.com.
Got it. Start Engine. Okay, cool.
CareWater.
So anybody that would be interested in looking into investing then could reach out there as long as they act quickly, right? Because June 18th is coming up quick, right?
June 18th is coming up pretty quick.
Yeah.
Years flying by.
And you mentioned a launch towards the holidays. By that, I presume you meant Christmas holidays or which holidays?
Friday, Christmas time, yep.
Yeah, which is prime time, needless to say, for many things. That's fantastic. And I guess my last question for you is, how can our listeners reach you if they have other questions?
You guys can reach me so that you can contact us. You can contact the company if you like to reach out to just discuss about more information about our products. There's a chat option on our website at carewater.com, www.carewater.com, K-A-R-A water. Or you can find us on socials. We have CareWater Inc. is our handle for virtually any social that you think of: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. We also have LinkedIn. We are always hiring at this point, which has been great as we're scaling and growing. So you can reach out to us on LinkedIn if you're interested. And yeah, anything like that, you can contact us, drop us a comment, leave us a message, or email us.
That's fantastic. And as I just repeat that, it's Karawater, KARAWATER.com. And they can find you everywhere. I think you said Karawater Inc. on the socials. Yeah. I want to thank you once again. This is the third time we've had an interview with you. And I always like to have exciting and interesting guests who are doing interesting products and changing the world in meaningful sorts of ways. And once again, maybe another 6 months or a year, definitely follow up and see what you've got going on at that time. And maybe in the next year, you'll get a little bit of rest that you've launched 4 products in just over 2 years, maybe.
This has been intense. I definitely was, I think, overly ambitious in this one, but it's proven pretty good.
Yeah. Once again, thanks a lot for being on the podcast. And I look forward to talking to you again before too much longer.
Likewise. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate you having me on. Look forward to talking to you again in maybe 6 months or a year.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks so much for tuning in to Inventors Helping Inventors. If you like the show, please tell your friends about it. Make sure to subscribe in iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts so you won't miss a single episode. Talk to you soon.